Hello, Tammy's followers. Laura Thorne, executive producer with the Film Fest here again. I'm meeting with Nicole Williams today, who's going to tell us about her film, Eternal Words. And let me see if I can get her to join. So, Nicole's film is set in a bookstore, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about the behind the scenes for theater next Wednesday and Thursday, a week from today. I can't believe it. At the Cranford Theater. If you've never been to Cranford, it is a gorgeous little town that I highly recommend you go to. Hey, Nicole. I'm just introducing the Film Fest really quick, and then we'll jump in with you. So we're doing this on Tuesday and Thursday. Nicole's film will be screened on Thursday, so we hope you'll join us for this. And we're going to try to give you as much of a sneak peek as possible without giving away everything. So welcome, Nicole.
Thank you. It's wonderful to finally speak with you. I can't wait to meet you in person.
I know, it's great to meet you too. So I'm not sure how'd you find us?
Through Eventbrite.
So,
Yeah.
we try to spread it out everywhere, right? Tickets on Film Freeway, tickets on Eventbrite.
I almost said Film Freeway, but then I was like, no, I remember actually just looking through Eventbrite for events and came across this. And I just love that you guys, I've been telling everyone about your festival because it is unique where you guys are focusing on highlighting people behind the camera, the people that really just put in the work to help bring this all together. Not to say those in front of the camera do not, but it's often missed, the people behind the camera. They're just, as important. And I just love that you guys focus on that. There's not that many film festivals that do that.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah, that's kind of how we came to be. We were looking for a film fest that focused on art ourselves and didn't find what we were looking for. So we decided to just
Make
give
your
it
own.
a try. Put up a thought. So far,
Yeah.
good. So New Jersey will be our first regional summit. So there's no awards in this event. The films that are submitted can still submit for awards, but the awards will still be September in New York City. And then we have these regional events, which allow us to bring the recognition, the networking, all of that aspect to the local areas and still get that element of it that we really love. And we've already seen like so many people connect and, talk about collaborations. And so it's really cool. So I am super glad to meet you, and let's dive into Eternal Words. So we'll talk about it overall, but then we'll talk about behind the scenes because obviously that's our focus. So tell us, what is Eternal Words about?
So Eternal Words is a husband and wife where the husband is helping his wife complete her novel. The wife is visibly ill. It's really not, you're not really told exactly what it is, but it's very much, then you can see it that she's not well and she's very determined to finish her novel. And her husband is just so devoted to her and wants to help her, and to completing this, even though she at times is not the nicest and sometimes snaps at him, he just stays dedicated in making sure that her wish is fulfilled to complete this novel. So it's, a short journey, but within this short period of time, there's just so much where you just can, it captures the essence of the love they have for one another.
That's awesome. And you wrote this story?
I co-wrote it. So yes, so I did it with two other women, and I thank them every time that I do talk about this film, because without them, it would be something where I'm still talking about doing a film. This is my first film ever that I did. And it was just something where for years and years just kept talking about. I would work on other people's projects, but never my own. And I just asked Alex and Rachel, I said, do you want to work on this with me? And they said yes. And that just changed everything for me.
That's awesome. So behind the scenes, how does work collaborating? Because there may be somebody listening who says the same thing. I've been writing on the script and I'm stuck. Yeah. And maybe that's the solution that they have. How does that work? How do multiple people working on one script work? Did you write it and back, or did you tackle different?
That was one of the first things we had to try and figure out, because there's a total of 3 of us. So it was basically the idea of, even though again it's a short film, the idea was we wanted to keep it under 5. It's a little over that. We were going to have someone take the beginning, the middle, and the end. And I always found that it's easier for me to do the ending and then write backwards, like in reverse, which as I talk to more people, a lot of more people are like that. I thought I was unique in that. Turns out, no, there's other people that do that. I was like, okay. So I did the ending. We talked about what we wanted the story to tell, right? It's very important. We wanted it to be something that people will connect to. So, we did talk a little bit together of what the overall story would be, but the actual writing, it would be where Alex did the beginning, Rachel took the middle, and then I wrapped it up with the ending. And so we would have meetings over Zoom and just really see where we are with writing. We did Google Docs, worked very well. And there's actually an app that's an add-on where it can put it in a script format for you. And so in real time, we were able to do the writing like that. Like we were actually in a writer's room together. So it was a very unique, interesting experience. I'm sure there's other ways of doing it, but that's how we did this.
Awesome. That sounds really cool. And I'm sure that was a really fun shared experience for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So moving more into actually making a film, as your first time making a film, what kind of behind the scenes things were surprises to you or you didn't expect?
So actually, what's interesting about this, and this is how I take the experience of Eternal Words, is when something is meant to be, it will just all fall in line. It wasn't much of like anything negative. It was very positive experience and how this all came together. And I knew this was the right time. I wasn't late on anything. I kept telling myself that. I'm like, I'm just behind. I'm in my 40s and I'm just starting. So I'm thinking it's very late. I asked Jerry Rowe to be my DP. He also did editing. And then I have met people along the lines, to help me on set. I'm just starting out. I didn't have any money and they were willing to volunteer their time. So what turned out to where things, yes, could have gone wrong, it was just all falling into place where I found the right actors. Ike, who plays the husband in this film, he doesn't even live in New Jersey. He was willing to travel from Washington, D.C. to come and film this. And that's just mind-blowing. So it's just things like that where you have people that just love this craft, this art, and they just want to create something so good. Everyone was very positive about the script, which I was, of course, nervous because I actually completed it and was putting it out there. It was just nothing but positivity from pre-production to post. So the surprise was just really, I think most of all was Ike willing to travel all that way. It was the most surprising. But nothing like where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of this. It was just all the right timing.
Okay, sounds like right timing, but also the right people that
yes,
they were doing.
Yes, because you also, what's so great about independent film is you also have people that are willing to help each other. But I also find people that just want to build up their resume. Tracy Howard, who plays Emily Rogers, the wife, she has a lot of background in theater and she wants to do more in film, right? So it's giving those people those chances as well. People that were working behind the scenes, that were volunteer their time, they wanted to learn, so that they volunteer their time to do so.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what we're here for. We want to be able to give people these opportunities for recognition and to help them. For us, you don't have to submit to our film fest with a quality film, which is probably the most unique thing about us compared to any other film fest in the world. You could send us a garbage film. But if you made amazing props for this film, or if you did awesome makeup for this film, you could still win an award.
Mhm.
So that I think is like, we're here to help people succeed in their creator roles, not as the larger picture of like the film itself. Of course, we want you to get on, then you can get on better films and better projects if you're
Right.
building up your resume and your credit.
No, I love that. And that's perfect. And I think that's what's also unique about independent projects is that you have that opportunity. I don't really know, and I haven't had the opportunity to work on a Hollywood set. But there's just, a lot of, I'm going to just say politics in that. And it gets dwindled down to where that creativity, I feel, is lost. And independent film, I think it's just always going to be at the heart and the key for me, because it's just people with this mindset that you have. And I think it is important. And, while your festival, I feel it definitely needs to be highlighted, for that reason. I think people are looking for this opportunity and this chance, and they don't know where to go. And that's part of why I do this. And I created my own hub, New Jersey Films 82, to bring people and give them that opportunity. It's not always that easy.
Yep, absolutely. And that's what I love about it too, is meeting people with like minds and vision, and finding people like you. Originally, Nicole's emails to us went in our spam, so I'm glad she harassed me multiple times to say, how come you haven't answered me yet?
I was like, what's happening? Am I in? Or I hope I am.
But I think that's a really, really good lesson, though, for also, again, especially people who are just starting. You cannot take silence as a no. A no is not unless you hear no, it's not a no. If you just don't hear something back, you need to follow up, whether it's like your submission or asking people for inquiry or trying to get someone to help you out. Like, you cannot just say, well, they didn't answer me back, so they must not be interested, right?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't going to take no because again, I did read up on you guys. I love what you stand for. It coincides with what I want to bring forth. This is not just me. There's so many people that were involved in this project, and they deserve to have that recognition. They deserve to be able to move forward as well. So I'm glad that you found the email. And not everyone will be able to go next Thursday, but there is a good amount of people. And I can't wait for them to, meet other filmmakers in person and just see where that takes them.
Yeah, awesome. I'm super excited. And okay, so let's talk about the film for another second, and then I want to talk about your PSA and before we let you go.
Okay.
So how did you, as a first-time filmmaker, because I think a lot of people are doing this too, with all the knowledge and stuff that's out there, you don't necessarily have to go to school to learn all the different parts and all the things. So a lot of people are just jumping in and trying things. How did you know what roles you needed? How did you know, how did you qualify them? So if someone said, yeah, I'll come up here and do this for you, or I'll come and be your DP, how do you know? Were they just sending you some examples of their work, or how did that go?
So the person that was my DP on Eternal Words, that was a different experience than with the PSA. I actually got to know Jerry a little bit before he actually came on to be my DP. We were both in a film group together. So, and he lives only like 40 minutes from me. So just chit-chatting with him a few times. He's always been very friendly. He did share some of his projects with me, and just having a conversation with him. I like to do Zoom calls. I'm very big on that. And when I do, and I allow them to ask any questions they want from me, I will ask them questions, but what I'm doing is I'm feeling them out. I'm making sure that they're coinciding on what my, I was going to say goals, not goals, but what my priorities are when it comes to being on set. I need someone that is not going to have a big ego, is willing to help others, coming there, remembering that we're doing this for fun. And so I want you to come with a great attitude, right? So that's very important to me because that creates the feel of the set. And when I'm talking to someone, I can feel them out and see if they fit what I'm looking for, and just creating that environment. So with Eternal Words, I already knew Jerry. I knew he was experienced. I knew he was going to help me personally, being it was my first time. I felt comfortable letting him also kind of guide through that. When it came to the actors, um, I want to say it's unique, but it's not totally, because I know there's other filmmakers, both in Hollywood and independent film, that does this approach where when I'm hiring a talent, whether it's editing, actors, a DP, I'm hiring you because I know you're talented, and therefore I do not want to dictate. I'm going to let you lead. Let me know what you come back with and we can discuss, but I'm going to allow you to use your talent. And that's very important to me because, again, I'm uplifting people. That's why we're coming together. So when it comes to the actors, I like to see what they can do, give them different ways of doing things sometimes and see how they will adjust it. But we already knew what we wanted Emily to come off on the screen. The same thing with Carl. And just giving them a little bit of like a change to see what they do with that. And that's how I'm able to fill that out. But it's just straightly their talent and allowing them to grow from that.
That's great. Well, I can't wait to view it next week. And tell us more about, I already forgot what it was called. I just typed it into the email. The PSA.
Voters' rights. It's okay. Yes, voters' rights. So voters' rights is being that we have an election. It's perfect timing next month. This came about where there's a woman, Lena, who is legally blind, and her wife is completely blind. I was talking to her, and she was telling me about what is accessible at voting booths, and being that I'm not in that community of disabled people is something I never thought about before. And it just, there was a thought of, like, I don't know how many people are aware of this. And we decided to do a PSA to make sure that everyone is aware. Of course, it's mainly towards the disabled community, but I think it's something that everyone should be aware of, because everyone has the right to vote and know what's accessible to them. So it was very eye-opening, this whole project. I'm very proud of the results. I know it's a very important one. And hopefully, you know, more and more organizations will agree to put that out there so that this will reach out to as many people as possible. Social media, of course, is the way to go for all of that. But that's the voters' rights. That's how it came to be. It's very important to Lena, and I wanted to make sure that it was done with the utmost respect. And what I really tried to put out in this film, and I hope it does come through when people, especially next week when they see it, or even on social media, wherever they're able to see it, is when you have someone that is not part of this disabled community and we can just go up and vote. That's something that I have taken for granted, where I can just do that, where someone that's in that community, it may be a little bit harder and it's a struggle and frustration for them to actively use their voice in that. So in the film, there is a friend that's disabled and one that's not. And they have this conversation where the one that is not disabled, she's kind of taking it for granted. And I wanted that to come through in the most tasteful way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we do take it for granted every day in all kinds of ways. And this is that. So appreciate that. And we're looking forward to, thank you for sharing it. Looking forward to screen it. And that's it. Any other messages you'd like to leave people with?
I just appreciate you actually doing this. Again, this is such a unique festival, and I can't wait for the summit. And just thank you for offering this and allowing people, filmmakers, especially independent filmmakers. We definitely need people to help, independent filmmakers as much as possible. So thank you so much for this.
Awesome. And thank you for submitting, and we're really looking forward to it. Can't wait to meet you and all the people that you bring with you. And speaking of that, everyone else listening, if you're in New Jersey, New York City, anywhere in the adjacent areas, hop on a train, whatever it takes, come and hang out with us. It is Wednesday, October 23rd and Thursday, October 24th from 5 to 8. We're going to kick it off with networking nights. It is at the Cranford Theater. The Cranford Theater is so cool. It's just like it doesn't throw you back in time to the 1920s. It's not quite that far, but it takes you back to like a theater when you were a kid, like the smaller size, real movie theater, really good popcorn. It's cozy, and the whole town is cozy. So if you could get half the day off or whatever, it's a great spot to go and just like grab some coffee or something at the cafe. Cape the Cake Artist Cafe is on here, was on here, and they're amazing. I stopped in and I wanted to buy everything in the whole place. And they've been supporting ever since we stopped by. So I highly encourage people to go by there and get some snacks also, either for the event or to take home. But we're gonna appreciate the town of Cranford ahead of time because they've also been helping advertise. I went and put flyers around. Everyone is super amazing in the town. So that's it. We're looking for a really fun and great time. Hi, Josephine. We're just about to hop off, but thanks for popping in here. And I'll see you next week, Nicole.
Yes. See you next week. Thank you so much again.
Great. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.